bro?
So, pop quiz. What happens when you have a sequel in which the main part of the movie, which is the boat, goes very slow? What do you do? Well, for starters, false advertising because of the fact that this damn ship did not go that fast on water. Fine, yes, whatever. But it took them how long to get to that island?
Forever.
Oh, Jesus. Is that Willem Dafoe?
Yes, I'm back from the dead. You will avenge me. Strike this movie at the heart.
The heart, Osborne. You must strike it in the heart. Guys,
now write the name of this movie on your death note.
Guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of The Buttery Show. I am Leo. This is Mike is somewhere in the universe, aka if you live in the valley, in the San Fernando Valley or any part of the valley, you probably have a huge power outage. So shouts to y'all. Hopefully y'all are safe. Make sure you light them candles, okay? Plus, your bill ain't gonna be that high. Anyways, with that being said, we are talking
when it comes to this movie about a boat, an iceberg is actually your friend.
Yeah, and today we are talking about one of the greatest. Well, okay, I'm not going to say the greatest. However, a movie that is honestly misunderstood, in my opinion. Speed 2 Cruise Control, or as I have dubbed it, Cruise Control, a speed story.
And as I say, it should be called just Cruise Control. No subtitle, just Cruise Control.
With that being said, before we get into it, guys, I'm hosting. I'm Leo. This is Mike. This is Mike Travin. I'm Leo Shaw. And I'm going to say this. If they ever decide to make a Speed 3, just bring both Alex and Jack back. Anyways, we're talking, again, like, share, comment, subscribe to The Buttery Show. Make sure you subscribe to our sister channel, Morphin Network. Just uploaded our interview with Chance Perez. Make sure you check that out. And if you have not seen our review of the original Speed, which was this past Monday, do yourself a favor and listen to it. Because spoilers, Andy comes back. And another spoiler, for a movie that's almost 30 years old, Keanu Reeves is not coming back. And instead is replaced by my boy, Jason Patric. So, let's get into it. So, Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Is the fact that what's really funny is the fact that Keanu said, I'm down to do a third movie if the script was actually good.
Yeah? Hey, listen, we can do a bad boys version of Speed. But we'll talk about that. Listen, I think that a podcast where we talk about our ideas for Speed 3, the Retribution, or Speed, we'll go down in a minute. But anyways, guys, Speed 3 Cruise Control is a 1997 action thriller film produced and directed by Jean de Bont. I hopefully pronounced his fool's name right this time. And it's written by Randall McCormick and Jeff Nathanson. It's a sequel to Speed. It tells the story of Annie Porter, because I do not know her last name, and Alex Shaw, a couple who go on vacation to the Caribbean aboard a luxury cruise ship, which is hijacked by a villain named John Geiger, played by Willem Dafoe. While trapped aboard a ship, Annie and Alex work with the ship's first officer to try and stop it after they discovered it is programmed to crash into an oil tanker. So it wasn't going to crash on an island first. It's going to crash into an oil tanker. Mike, I gotta ask you, because you're the one who I knew about Speed 2, I just never watched it. But you told me how bad this movie was. Or you told me how much it did not live up to the original movie. When did you see this movie? Go ahead.
Literally like any other like majority of movies that we've reviewed in this past year. I watched it on a free weekend for HBO or Stars or Cinemax or Epic. But yeah, no, I mean I knew it existed, but I never got around to watching it because why would I want to see a that doesn't have Jack Traven? Jack is the reason why I've seen the first Speed movie so many times. And look, I'm not hating on Shaw, but Shaw is a cool dude. But he ain't no crap. I'm just
Mike,
saying.
you're breaking up. I think that oil tanker's about to hit you, dog.
Birthday. You know what I want if somehow during this movie she actually not these pepper spray. Like, can you imagine if like Geiger tried to attack Andy in this movie?
Mike, I can't hear you, dude. You're still cracking.
Like that'd be ironic because that would have been Jack's pepper spray that saved her. The same pepper spray
Again, people.
she broke up with him.
There we go. Okay. All right. So I don't know what he should. I don't know if anyone else heard Mike, but I'm gonna give you the gist. Jack Traven's not in it. Alex Shaw's decent, but this movie could have been better. I think that's the best I can come up with. That's the gist, correct?
Pretty much.
Okay. First time I saw this movie. Now, like you, I saw this movie. I didn't watch it on HBO or Stars. I watched bits of this movie when they were showing on FX. Okay, so
even worse.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's PG-13, so there's no F-bombs being thrown.
Oh no, trust me, bro. Even like when they make a TV edit of any movie, they literally cut things out, even if it is within standards and practices, just because they're trying to cut down for time. Trust me, like when they showed The Mask on Fox, they cut out the scene with that gang outside of his apartment building, you know, balloon head, and they cut out the scene with the where he goes to Ben Stein's office. Like they just cut straight to the park. And,
yeah, I know that.
And let me tell you, one of the reasons why I was able to watch the first movie so many times is because my dad made a VHS recording of a Fox broadcast of Speed. Mm-hmm. So believe me when I tell you, even in the original even that movie had scenes cut out, and mind you, scenes that were not that would warrant an R rating, but they still cut out scenes to make time. And like they kept the part where the dude got like John Wick at the beginning of the film. But no. So like when you're watching Speed 2 on FX, I'm 13. They still cut things out. They are useless scenes.
Anyways, well, going back to what I was saying. I saw bits and pieces. I was on the same boat with people saying the movie's not good. But again, I never really watched the movie from beginning to end. So during sequel month on the Disgruntled podcast, we decided to say, hey, you know what? It's time we talk about this movie. So you and I both decided, oh, by the way, Speed 2 Cruise Control. There we go. Title card. So you and I both decided, you know what? Let's watch this movie. I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna give it a chance as an adult now. And you know what? I'm just gonna be very straight with y'all. I like the movie. Okay, I actually like the movie. Now, yes, it has problems. It does have problems. For instance, the goddamn boat does not go that far.
It doesn't stop the boat midway through the movie.
Like, it literally doesn't go that fast. Okay, like I get that. I understand people's issues.
But I mean, like even when they evacuate the people, like the tourists, they literally stop the boat so that they could get out. This is literally the opposite of the first movie. Because remember, in the first movie, the bus cannot stop. They cannot remove the hostages.
Yeah.
Here, it's like Yeah, guy is such a nice guy. He's letting the hostages go.
Like he's literally like, hey, look, y'all got 15 minutes to get everyone. Literally, Geiger's whole thing is. By the way, in case y'all want to know, Geiger is sick. I think he has like some terminal illness. He probably has like a brain tumor or something like that. I don't think they really explain it. We just know this fool puts leeches on himself. And takes some drugs. That's about it. But we'll talk about that in a minute. I actually enjoyed this movie, and I remember during round one of COVID, towards the end of round one of COVID, we reviewed the movie, and I gave the movie an 8 out of 10. Now, of course, I've watched the movie recently, and I will still say this: it's not a bad movie. It's false advertisement. That's the biggest issue. It's my same issue with Iron Man 2. I freaking love Iron Man 2, but that movie was false advertisement because War Machine was only in the movie for like 5 minutes. And they hyped the shit out of that. Anyways, let's talk about let's talk about the main cast, okay? We got my boy Alex Shaw, played by one of my favorite character actors, Jason Patric. For those of y'all who don't know who Jason Patric is, Jason Patric was in some of y'all's favorite movies, like Lost Boys. He was in Lost Boys. He was in one of my favorite thrillers, a very slept on, no pun intended, thriller called Sleepers, with him, Brad Pitt, Kevin Bacon. And I'm going to say this right now: the movie is not for the faint of heart. If you watch the movie, watch at your own risk. It is a strong look at the hands of the Catholic religion and juvenile hall and stuff like that. It's a movie that you might need to talk to someone after that. He was in Sleepers. He was in Speed 2 Cruise Control. He was in Your Friends and Neighbors, Narc, 3 Days of Rain, The Alamo, The Expired, Walker Payne. He was in The Losers, one of my favorite comic book movies that's very slept on. He was in The Vanish, Runt, and he's going to be in his upcoming movie. The next movie he's going to be in is Terrifier 3. And I've seen All Hallows Eve, people. If you know about Ark the Clown, get ready. We also got, once again, everyone's favorite 90s crush, Sandra Bullock, coming back in the movie. And we already talked about her. I didn't go through her filmography, but just to name a few: Demolition Man, Speed 1, Speed 2, what was that? Not Miscongeniality 2, The Proposal, Gravity, Blindside, the movie the movie based off a story that was not true. That the person who said this whole thing was real, Frank Dukes, that situation. And am I forgetting any other movies that she was in? Oh, she was in what was that movie with her and Nicole Kidman when they were witches? Never mind. Anyway, that's her. And then we get your guy, Tamir Morrison. Tamir Morrison, who our favorite Kiwi actor, who is well known for playing Jango Fett and Boba Fett in Star Wars. And if I remember correctly, he was in Barbed Wire, but we don't talk about that. And then the main man himself. Yeah.
Yes, the greatest actor of all time,
Willem effing Dafoe. Willem Dafoe. Y'all, okay, let's go through it. Patriots game, this movie, Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, because he kept coming back as an apparition. He was in Spider-Man No Way Home, John Wick Chapter 1. He was in, what was that movie? That movie with Mia Goth. What was it?
Don't forget the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Grand Budapest Hotel. Oh, The Lighthouse, which is a really good movie. It's a really good
movie where he plays a character with only 4 letters in his name, but the most anyone has ever been able to write was 2.
He was in the recent movie that Emma Stone won for best actress. What was that movie called again?
I haven't seen it.
Damn it! I watched it, but I can't remember the name of it. Jesus Christ! I'll look for it. Anyways, but no, this Willem Dafoe has been in just about everything. This, he was in The Last Temptation of Christ as our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He was
And I
also
think it
in.
was one ball movie that he was in.
We won't talk about that. He was in To Live and Die in LA, Platoon, Boondock Saints 1, Boondock Saints 2. Oh, Shadow of the Empire.
Saints.
Huh?
We need to do Boondock Saints and Bram Stoker's Dracula together.
I'm dog. I am so down for that. You have no idea. And the movie I was talking about earlier was was it not Poor Things. It was Jesus. Oh, he's in the upcoming Beetlejuice 2 movie. Forgot to say that.
That's out right now?
Yeah, it's actually out right now. I can't remember the name of the movie. I would have to look for it.
The third one's gonna be called Beetlejuice.
Yes. that would be funny. He was in The Boy and the Heron. He was in Gonzo Girl, Pet Shop Days, Finally Dawn, Poor Thing. Oh, Poor Things. That was the name of the movie. Poor Things with Emma Stone. If you have not seen that movie, anyways, so let's get started. Because there's not that much we can talk about this movie because it has a great supporting cast. But let's just face it, we're here to see the new couple, Annie and Alex. So Annie does not know that Alex is a cop. Okay, actually, she does, but she doesn't know that he's part of the task force that Jack was in, because we also see Mac in a cameo. Okay, he's in for like 2 minutes, and that's about it. She gets pissed, and it's also talking to her driving instructor. She's also trying to get her license back because she got a license suspended for speeding. Okay, she talks about Jack. They broke up 2 years before the events of this movie, so this is like 95. We're in 97 now. Apparently, he bought her pepper spray for her birthday, which, I'm sorry, you're a cop. He's a cop. He needs to make sure you're protected, okay? Now, granted, pepper spray, not the best birthday gift to get your girlfriend when you're a cop.
Imagine if, like, freaking Dennis Hopper's head came back on Jack Traven's body like it's Stardust Crusaders. She's gonna need that pepper spray.
So I'm done. Stop. We're not crossing JoJo's with speed. Anyways.
Why not? Keanu is a real life JoJo. Even in John Wick, his character's name is Jodani Jovanovic.
I know at some point, Buttery Show, we're going to be having the review JoJo's Bizarre, and I'm not ready for that because this man will dress up as either freaking Jotaro or probably Dio, and he could pull off a Dio. Oh, okay, and he's gonna be like, "You could be Pomera." No, I'm not being Pomera. Anyways, so Alex gets her a cruise to the Caribbean because it's also where he's gonna ask her to marry him, even though they've been together for 7 months. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to break down Annie for a little bit. I love Annie in this movie. Do I think she complains a little bit? Yes. But you got to keep in mind, 7 months she's been with Alex. Still trying to get over the trauma of almost dying in the first Speed movie. And her ex-boyfriend was a cop. So she has trust issues, number one. Number two, she doesn't want her partner to die. I can understand that. Okay, I can completely understand where she is coming from. Okay, that's just my opinion. Alex, he doesn't know who Jack is unless they make a Speed 3. But he loves Annie, and I love Alex's character. They actually develop it like in little subtle moments, especially when he meets the girl who's hard of hearing. That little girl's something else. What was her name? I can't remember her name again. Because I kept saying Drew. Drew, is was going to be 15, and she lets Alex know this, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But he actually makes a connection with her because he knows sign language and he's good with kids. This is a perfect example that this man not only is a cop, but also not only wants Annie, but he wants to marry her and start a family. They don't tell you this, and they're not in your face about it. However, They do such a good job in establishing his wants and needs. He loves Annie, wants her hand in marriage, and wants children because he's good with children and knows how to diffuse situation with kids. Jack was the hotshot cop who wanted to take out Dennis Hopper, save the day, avenge Harry, because Harry got and make sure everyone on that bus got out alive and slowly fell in love with Annie. Okay, both characters are very, very much well established, and I love Alex's character. Go ahead, like if you can talk, go ahead.
Okay, so no, I do appreciate that. Like, you know, he's not like super like as extreme as he is with the whole motorcycle chase sequence thing. Like, I love that, like, they do establish him as being this, like, softer side thing. Again, like, I know you can hate me for referencing JoJo, but, like, that's actually one of the things I like about Jonathan Joestar, the very first JoJo, because it's like, he's, like, this big, hulking beast who could, like, play rugby while being dragged down by 4 enemy players and keep marching forward. But he has a soft side. He loves dogs. And he's very romantic to his woman, and that's basically what they're trying to establish with Alex Shaw, where he's this cool, athletic, extreme guy, but he's also very soft spoken. He's good with the kids, you know. Gotta love that in a man. But yeah, with that said, you know, if they do make a Speed 3, I want it to be like Alex and Jack teaming up. No Annie, just the two guys. You know, kind of like what Twilight should have been, where it's like it's just Edward and Jacob, but no Bella.
No. You see, here's the thing. If I just realized something, if we make a Speed 3, all it is Bad Boys 3, because Alex is Martin is Marcus Burnett, and Jack Travin's Mike Larry. There's a white version of Bad Boys if we were to make a Speed 3. I'm just letting you know. And if I'm lying, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Okay. So Willem Dafoe, who plays John Geiger. John Geiger is a guy who knows the entire system to the ship very well, because he has created programs for these nice, great luxury cruise ships. Because back in case you guys want to know, I actually need to do research. I did some research for this movie. Back in the 90s, cruise ships were very, very popular. And you could thank the Love Boat for that too. But the reason being they put Speed 2 on a boat is because of the popularity of cruise ships. And you know what? I have to give it to the director because he knows his stuff. Okay, I'm glad that he stayed with the times, staying with at that during that decade and towards the end and going to the new millennium. Okay, so this man's whole plan is to jack all the diamonds and all the jewelry and whatever. Also, crash his boat. Because he's also dying. He has nothing to lose at this point. He kills the captain, takes control of the ship's autopilot system, pretending to be drunk, too.
Not only does he kill the captain, but he puts on the captain's uniform just in time for those two chubby ladies to show. It's like, oh my gosh, the captain, can we take a selfie with you? It's like, of course you can, ladies.
Of course.
Take a picture, it will last longer.
Everyone say Dallas, yeah. Okay. Here's my one issue. Yo, Captain, why did you fight back? He was just hitting you with the and you still were lying there so you could get thrown over. Why? Anyways, Geiger blows up parts of the ship, and not killing people, but it's releasing sulfur smoke. It's also destroying any communications with the outside world. They call them the Coast Guard, call them the Navy, any Navy ships that are around their area, and also making demands. I want off this. Y'all want, if you guys want to get off this ship, you got 15. I'm giving everyone and he's talking to Tamara Morrison's character, who's the first officer, now becomes the captain. He's like, listen, I'm gonna throw you a bone. I don't want anyone else to die on this ship. After all, I'm the one who helped create the guidance system for this ship. You got 15 minutes. Get everyone off the ship, and no harm, no foul. Okay, you got 15 minutes, boy. Go for it. So our boy Boba Fett tries to get everyone off. Alex is persistent.
You know what always weirded me out just before this scene? It's kind of weird how Geiger's able to word for word say everything what the captain and the first mate were gonna say just before they say that. It's like low key. It almost sounds like mind control, but it's not. But it's kind of weird how he says it just before they say it. That was kind of weird. But I'm not gonna lie though, every time I watch this movie, that one Scottish dude sounds very sus. Like everything he says or does, he does it in a way that makes him sound really sus, like he's working with Geiger, even though he's not. But it's like, is that like an intentional red herring? Or is my mind just like playing tricks on me and stuff? Because it's like, I don't know, maybe the way they did it is just like they really made him look like he might turn out to be an accomplice, but they never followed through on that.
I'll say this: the movie did a decent job psyching us out because I thought the exact same thing.
And I've seen this movie like 3, maybe 4 times, and every single time, like they really did a great job, making it believable that hey, maybe he really is a heel, but no, he's not. He's just very heel toned.
He's very Scottish. No. Here's the best way to put it.
Harry Boyland.
Hold on. No, like he's very Scottish, and anyone knows Scottish people sound like. Anytime you're around someone who's probably Scottish, they sound like they might be doing a heel turn. It's messed up to say that, but it's kind of true.
Am I a good man?
Why you ask that, Doctor?
Because I'm about to sympathize with a Dalek.
You know what the guy reminds me? Like, here's the best way to put it. You want to know who's the biggest Scottish heel right now?
Who? God damn it.
He sounds like he is like a 90s version of Drew McIntyre. You don't know if he's going to heel turn or not. And that's the funny part. Anyways, Alex, after first officer tells him, like, the guy's good, it's like, hold on, whoa. What guy? The ship starts to move again. Alex trying to get all people off the lifeboat and back onto the ship, which he does. He then goes with what do you call it? He goes with the Scottish kid. I can't remember the guy's name. It doesn't really matter. Goes with the Scottish kid to go down to the control to the control set area of the ship, but the engine room of the ship to find what's going on, because they're trying to figure out how is Geiger doing using autopilot to control the ship when. And how is he doing it? They then find Geiger's room, and Geiger already knew that they were going to come. They also find the guy, the housekeeper that was on Alex. It was in Alex and Annie's room earlier. He didn't die, thankfully. And Geiger from a distance blows up his laptop and blows up his room. Thankfully.
Yeah, I'm expecting him to blow up his own room like freaking Howard Payne did in the first one.
Yeah.
Heck, they could have even killed off the Scottish guy that way.
But no. So, what do you call it? So while they're doing all that, Drew's parents are trying to find her, and then Annie and the black photographer Dante find another room with people in there, and they're trying to get out. Annie uses a freaking chainsaw and lets out her inner Leatherface. and gets everyone out, and it's awesome.
I love how like Annie's like super reckless, like she was. Let's be honest, in the first movie, and somehow this time her recklessness actually saved people.
Yeah, why? Because she dated a cop, and now she's trying to think 4, like 5 steps ahead. She's only thinking 3, which is okay. It's okay. Sometimes you can't think 5 steps, but 3 steps is good enough.
We all need a Harry in our life, and it was Annie's turn to be the new Harry.
Except she doesn't die. Let's get that straight. She doesn't die. So while trying, I remember correctly. No, he didn't find him yet. This was after Drew. So Alex finds Drew.
They try to open the ballast, but it turns out Drew is in the ballast. He's like, "No, don't turn off the ballast yet." But you told me to turn it off. I can't undo it.
You're the child in there, damn it!
And then he's like an absolute trooper, just like runs in there, try to save Drew. They almost jump, but get rescued. And he's like, "When I'm older, will you marry me?"
No. I got you. She said, listen, if anything happens, I just want you to know I'm going to turn 15 next month. And he says, which great reference to the first movie. Listen, relationships starting off with extreme situations rarely do well. I'm like, yes. Call back to the first movie.
Yes. All we're missing is a Billy Idol song in the background.
So they get the kid back to the parents. He finds Geiger, runs after Geiger, sprinting with the ski gun, and tries shooting him. Shoots out the TVs because he's pissed. But Geiger gets him in the shopping area, locks all the doors, blows an incinerate grenade that has sulfur in it. And Alex is trying to get out, but realizes there's a grenade in one of these doors. He doesn't know if it is, but he's like, "Yo, there's a wire." Annie and Boba Fett find it. They figure out how to tie the spoon, get the grenade out. They get out of there. Now what they're trying to do is they're trying to slow the ship down. They've already tried slowing the ship down by flooding it. Now they're trying to figure out how other ways to slow the ship down, because they're going to go into an oil rig, and they don't go into this oil tanker, and they don't go into the oil tanker. They're going to run into this freaking island. They're like, "Yo, we need to stop the propellers." Alex, taking a page out of Jack Traven's book, goes underwater with scuba gear, obviously, and tries to stop the propellers. Succeeds without dying. And Antonio Morrison almost loses his arm in the process.
So if Ortiz was there, he would have said, "Man, Alex, you got some big, hairy cojones." That's gross, Ortiz.
Nah. You got some, damn, Alex, you got some big, hairy, wet cojones, man.
That's gross, Ortiz.
And then we get the meme shot. The famous Willem Dafoe meme right here. And funny enough, I did not know that this is the movie that he made that face. I've seen this face all throughout high school, all throughout college. Never did I ever think that it came from Speed 2 until I watched this movie with Mike, like back during COVID. And by watching the movie with Mike during COVID, I mean when long distance wise, we used what was it, Rabbit, or what was it called now? Keycast, Rabbit Cast now. I don't remember, but we watched Speed 2 doing that. So he tells Annie to let go of Alex. Alex almost dies, but thankfully she pushes the button to make sure the rope that is guiding him back to the ship gets him back on top in the ship, and he grabs Tamir Morrison where he gets cut up by the propellers as well. So they figured out how to stop the ship from going into the oil tanker. They have to manually turn the ship, and then they have to go under the underneath the engine room or wherever. I can't remember where it's supposed to be. Mike, you can correct me. And so him and Dante go under there and are taking turns turning the ship. So all it does is graze the oil tanker.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to the
crash. Is that a simple graze is all it took to take down the Titanic, but somehow nothing bad happens here. But somehow, like, yeah, the ship is about to hit port, but thankfully, like, it stops just in time before it gets to the restaurant. And I'm like, bro, this feels like this was stolen from the movie Airplane, and would subsequently be stolen by Death Note 3.
You see, I would also say Ghostbusters 2 because they brought the Titanic back.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, interestingly enough, we need to slow things down instead of speeding them up. In a movie called Speed 2.
This movie, the ship does not go that fast, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't. Like, real talk. God, I didn't think I was going to have to do this for this movie. Actually, I knew I was going to have to do this with this movie. Give me a second.
You know, okay. You know what they should call
this real quick.
Movie Speed. They should call it acceleration, change in direction.
If I'm going to Jim Cornette this real quick, let me adjust my glasses. You should have got everyone off the ship except Alex, Annie, the first officers on that ship, and maybe keep Drew and her parents, and that was it. You could have got everyone else off this ship, and then there have been more stakes to it. Because real talk, all those people, there's like about 20 supporting cast members in this movie. There was no need. Some of them were unnecessary, like the fat dude and his hot wife, the singer who had no panties on, the Latino couple who was on their honeymoon,
or the two fat ladies that are not actually fat, they're normal
girls. Yeah, the Texas girls. There really was no reason to keep a lot of these characters. Now, granted, I can argue saying that there is because this movie is more comedic than action. But there really is.
You know what? I could make. Okay, you know what? I've come to realize. You know that episode of Doctor Who, Voyage of the Damned, where they're literally inside a space version of the Titanic? That movie was a better Speed 2 cruise control than actual Speed 2 cruise control, because the reason why there's only like 6 people left on the ship was because everyone else was killed off. And one by one, people kept dying as they try to get to... Actually, you know what? The movie Poseidon was closer to that. Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, it's like it was. And there was a race against time in all of those cases. Here it's like, if we just veered steadily to the right, we're good. We're good, fam.
Did you really just make the Family Guy reference?
No. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking about Blue Harvest, where it's like that's not a maneuver. You're just leaning lazily to the left. Get him! Oh my God, he leaned lazily to the left. Man, this guy knows some maneuvers.
All right, hold up. I'm about to bring us home real quick. I'm about to bring us home. So
the best character to come back from the first movie,
LAPD. Man, do you know how much therapy I've had to go through because of you guys? Also, you're
still paying off my car.
So Maurice from Speed 1, now with his Jamaican girlfriend, help Alex chase down Annie and Geiger. And Geiger has that plane boat. You know, for those who don't know, the plane boat where you have the plane is on the water and you can go and you can elevate. You can take off in the water. They're trying to get to that. They get to that plane. Now Annie's giving.
I'm gonna need your harpoon gun. Take the harpoon gun.
Look, man, I need your harpoon gun. Take the harpoon gun. Whoa, let me at least get you there. Now, granted, I'm gonna say this right now. Maurice helped save the day. And he was there to watch Alex propose to Annie after they killed Geiger. Spoiler alert, people. So he uses the harpoon gun and reels himself to the plane. And he's giving Geiger the works. And Geiger is smacking her like Ike Turner. He gets to the plane, gets Annie off, punches Geiger, gets on the buoy to that boat plane. Geiger, thinking he missed the oil tanker that the ship almost crashed into, hits the communication pole. And my boy Geiger went out like a gangster. This man laughed all the way to his death because this man already knew he was going to die because he was sick, and the ship company did not provide him any kind of compensation or reimbursement or any alimony or any royalty checks. They kicked him out. So you're like, you know what? This ship crashed into the dock. No one really died, but hey, I stuck it to the man. That's a good laugh for me. Dies. By the way, people, I'm just going to say this right now. Geiger's not dead. He's in Beetlejuice. I am tying Beetlejuice in with speed, people. Let's go. Alex proposes to Annie. Annie says yes. She says, how long do you want me to wear this? 50 years. Yes. And in the epilogue, Annie's about to go take her driver's test again and sees
almost gets hit by a Venice
33.
bus.
By bus 30. Oh, yeah. No, by bus 33, because the bus 33 does go to Venice.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the movie. I'll go first, because I'm the one defending this damn movie. Here are the niggas. So we'll go with the niggas first. We all know the boat was going slow, okay? It was not going fast at all. A false advertisement, okay? Number one. Number two, we did not need this many supporting cast members, okay? Maybe like 5, maybe 7, maybe 10 at the latest, okay? There's about
even in the first movie, how many of the passengers do you actually remember on the bus? Okay, maybe you'll remember their faces, but how many of them had an impact on the story? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it. We got Annie, Helen, Maurice. No, sorry, not Maurice. He was outside the bus. We got Ortiz, Sam, Alan Ruck. We got that one young dude who got upset at Ortiz for saying he's got a wife. You got the actual guy who fired the gun. You got the Asian lady and the old black married couple. That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah.
And at least 3 of those didn't have a single line of dialogue. But the point is, you had a small supporting cast, and every one of them you actually remember. Even the ones that did not have a line of dialogue, you at least remember they existed. Because even the Asian lady, it's kind of her fault that that video loop effed up. But
yeah.
but the point,
though, it really was not her fault. Yeah.
But the point is, we didn't need this many people. We could have had Drew and her dad. You don't even need her Drew's mom. Okay, here's the thing. Because here's the thing. What I've noticed is Drew's mom is very supportive of her. The dad, who I'm pretty sure is her stepdad, he's not as supportive of her. So, if it was just the 2 of them staying behind, then it's a chance for him to learn to build a rapport with Drew. And then maybe at the end of the movie, they reunited with Mom. The mom could see, oh my God, you guys are finally getting along. Yeah, well, our relationship is based on dire circumstance. So,
Stop.
Look, sometimes a traumatic experience is enough to bind a father and his daughter, or father and his son, or a son and his mom. It doesn't matter. You know what kind of trauma bonded Luke with Darth Vader? But the point,
or Ezra and what's his name, Caden from Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah, and also and again, like if you have a larger cast staying on the boat, like you could have made the situation more dire by like legitimately putting their lives into greater danger. Like, what if something really bad happened where like they ended up having to die off one by one, but somehow their death would contribute to the survival of the rest of the group, just like in both Doctor Who and Poseidon.
You wouldn't Doctor Who. Anyways,
Look,
those are my problems.
it was a great Christmas episode, okay?
Those are my issues with the movie. Now the positives. I love the chemistry between Annie and Alex. I really do. And just as much as I love the chemistry between Jack and Annie from the first movie. I love the chemistry that he had with the little girl. I love the chemistry he had with Tamira Morrison's character, because Tamira Morrison's like, listen, I'm the acting captain. He's like, yes, well, I'm a cop, and I'm telling you, this is not normal. And then finally, coexisting with each other to make sure everyone's safe and to make sure the ship does not crash. I love that. I love the action because Alex was running the majority of the time, and he was helping damn near everyone, and including Dante from falling to his death in the water. I really like that. I like that Annie is capable and is very dependent and learned the majority of her mistakes from the first movie. Now, being a hostage, again, not so much. Oh, actually, no. Being a hostage, she learned. Beat the hell out of the bad guy as much as you can, because you're a hostage. He's not going to kill you just yet. I love the acting in this movie. It's cheesy. Overall, the movie's not bad. It's false advertisement for sure. I miss Keanu. That's neither here nor there. I did miss Keanu. I wish he came back in this movie. But Jason Patric, for what the script he was given, did a damn good job. And I'm not going to fault him for this movie being lackluster, to say the least. Now, as a sequel, it is lackluster. As a standalone movie, hell, even a spinoff. I'll take it as a spinoff, not a sequel, but a spinoff to Speed. It's a good movie. It's a good movie that I think is very misunderstood. I'm going to give it a low 8 out of 10. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, look, I agree with you that the chemistry is definitely better in this film, even with less than exciting characters. Willem Dafoe's acting was great, but the script was just not good. It's like, what was your game plan by blowing up the boat with the oil rig exactly? Like, what's your end goal? Like I know you want revenge against a company, but it's like, how are you getting revenge? Because it's like, if this was like the only copy of that guidance system, it's like, okay, you're just setting them back a couple of years. But very likely they made multiple copies of the same guidance system and installed it to other ships. And it's like, I think there are so many better revenge plots I could have done, even with a boat, even with Willem Dafoe, even with the title of Speed. I already mentioned like some of the things I would have changed. Okay, but this is the one Jim Cornette thing I will never let go of. They should have just called. Hold on. They should have just called the movie Cruise Control, not Cruise Control as Speedster. Just leave it at Cruise Control, so that people would just assume it's just a random movie that has nothing to do with an existing IP. Then when you have that opening scene with Annie, like she's like, you don't specify that it is in fact Annie. It's just Sandra Bullock just taking a driving test. You don't know it's Annie. Like she's talking shit about her boyfriend. She doesn't use the name Jack yet. Like she just says, my boyfriend is such an asshole. Like he got me pepper spray for my birthday, thinking it was perfume. I accidentally pepper sprayed myself, and that's why I don't want to date cops. And then it's like, oh, and like when she stops, and then we see like Mac for the first time, and she's like, Mac, Annie. That's when it hits you. It's a spin-off of Speed. Not until that moment where Annie meets Mac do you realize that this is a spin-off of Speed. And,
you know what?
and
I like that idea. I like that.
you don't even know her name is Annie until Max shouts, Annie? You're like that way it's like, oh shit. But because like she mentions she had a boyfriend who was a cop, you can tell, oh, she's talking about Jack. Oh,
Yeah.
they broke up. That sucks. But at least now you're not like talking shit about the character. You're just like kind of like stepping on his legacy a little bit. You know, it's like, but not as much as just saying Jack, 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 Jack. Oh man, Jack is such a terrible boyfriend. Jack this, Jack that. I'm like, because the more you bring up Jack, the more you wish that like what's Jack doing right now? Like, I want to see. I'll tell you what Jack is doing right now. Like, he changed his last name to Utah, joined Quantico, and he's fighting against the presidents of the United States, but retroactively. But I think that's the main issue. But the thing that bothers me the most is, yes, like because it's especially because they call this movie Speed. It just feels weird that this movie's everything the opposite of the first movie, down to the fact that you literally stopped the boat to release the hostages. You stopped the boat to release the hostages. In the first movie, you can't stop the bus. You can't release the hostages. That's what made the situation so dire. Anyways, Maurice saves the day. Maurice is the GOAT. This should have been a Maurice-focused movie. Like, this movie would be nothing on Maurice. I give this movie a 7 out of 10. I give it an 8 if it did everything I just said about changing its title and a little bit of that opening scene. Like, but as it is, I give it a 7. Still a passing score, but it's definitely not a movie that I would go out on my way to watch again. Heck, the only reason I went out on my way to watch it again this time is because of the theme of this month.
I can respect that. I can respect that score. But guys, real quick, in case you want to know, this movie costs. I'm gonna read this real quick for my phone dies. This movie costs 110 to 160 million dollars. I'm just gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. This movie, the budget of this movie was 110 million dollars. Okay, this movie made back 164.5 million dollars. So it didn't do well in the box office, but because of us talking about it and because of the cult following it had, it cleaned up in the home video department and DVDs as well. So cheers to you guys for that. But
any accolades?
Let's see. I think this movie. I hopefully this movie didn't get a Razzie. But from what I saw, where is it? No, there was no accolades for this movie.
Wow.
Actually, no. It received 8 Razzie nominations. What do you call it? At the 18th Golden Raspberry Awards, it had the second highest number that year, following Batman and Robin, which had 11 nominations. Speed won for worst remake or sequel, but lost for worst picture. Okay, see, that's just mean. And Stinker, it got nominated for worst screenplay of the film, grossing over $100 million using Hollywood math, but it won worst Stinker at the Stinker Awards. It's not that bad, people, but I digress. Anyways, that is our show, people. Mike, God bless you, man. I'm glad you're okay. I know it must be terrible with the power outages and stuff like that right now.
Oh yeah, no, I'm glad that like on my way home, I got like 4 giant bags of ice just in case the power doesn't come back on. But it just so happens the power did come back on, but then the pylon near my house exploded. Mm-hmm. So back to blackout. Glad I bought that ice. So now like I'm using the ice to keep my refrigerators cold so that like the meat doesn't spoil.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of Capicola in my fridge, and I know how much you love that Capicola. You're a big Tony Soprano fan, so got to take good care of that Capicola. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But I'm glad you're okay. Hopefully you stay cool. Where could the people find you, dog?
You can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto.
All right, then. You lovely people can find me at twitch.tv/recklessfox. I'm actually, stay tuned. We got some stuff in the works. I can actually say that now. Instagram, _Fox, and Twitter Twitter X, whatever, _Fox. I'd be cutting up there. Got any power questions you want to ask me? Unfiltered Jim Cornette the entire time. You can ask me anytime, any place, anywhere. I will answer them, and because I have no filter to some degree. As always, be sure to follow our sister channel, Morphin Network, on Twitter on Instagram and YouTube. Once again, we do have interviews from Power Morphicon coming in very quickly. The next interview.
Make a hint. Make a hint. Hint only.
It's just one big rhino coming through. And it's Mike knows the guy. But yeah, that should be premiering tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And also tomorrow, be sure to check out our final review of Kamen Rider Fies. And we're going to be spinning that wheel at Morphicon. All you guys were telling us how much you love that wheel. The wheel is going to be there tomorrow, so stick around for that. And also, right here on the Buttery Show, remember, we still got several more movies to go over for Lackluster Sequel Month. Our next first installment will be at the first half of this week, and it's going to be a really fun movie. It's one that people really like to PARTY because they have to.
Okay. Well, that being said, guys, this is Leo. This is Mike from the Buttery Show signing out. Until then, guys, smile and wave, and we'll see you on the next review. Till then, peace up, A-Town, stay safe, and stay hydrated. Bye. Bye, guys.